I'm here with Isaac Robinson, and this is how to throw good approach shots. We're about 180 feet away on an approach shot. Isaac, what's kind of going through your head?
Yeah, so for an approach shot, I'm thinking about just landing it inside the circle, preferably, as close as you can get. I'm not trying to throw it in. I'm not trying to get it past the basket. I'm just trying to land within that 20, 25 foot circle around the basket.
What disc do you think you'd be going for? What type of disc?
Yeah, well, this is a straight approach shot, so I'd be pulling out my PA3s, fly pretty straight. If it was open or had like a hyzer line, I'd be throwing the A2 or possibly the M1. And then for anhyzer, I'd be also using the PA3s.
What angle do you think you're gonna throw it on right now?
Put it on a slight ante, and that'll help it just kind of hold the straight line for a little bit longer.
Cool, well, let's throw a couple.
All right.
All right.
That's pretty close.
I would say so. I notice you take about one step from this distance, so it's not a standstill.
Yep.
Talk about your feet a little bit.
Whenever I do this, I just tend to pull it just a little bit, and this one little step is I don't know, just feels more like a throw.
Is there a particular, plastic type on approaches that you're going for?
In the woods and where there's hard ground, you get big skips, so I'm using some softer plastic. So I'll use base plastic A2s or my 300 soft PA3. So it hits the ground and it doesn't scoot, it doesn't really skip, and it just kind of sits right where you throw it. For bit of grassy areas, so open fields, I'm using the premium plastic A2. So it'll get a little more skip, and that way if I'm offline a little bit, it'll kind of skip towards the basket.
So as you can tell, today it's a little windy. On approaches, is that going through your head? Are you thinking about the wind, where you kind of want to land it by the basket because of the wind conditions?
So that's a good question that not a lot of people think of, but if you have a preferred wind, and everybody has different winds that they prefer to putt in. Personally, I like to putt in tailwinds or left to right. So I know it's gonna push the disc down. And I know that if I put it high, it's just gonna drop in the basket. So I'm usually aiming for the tailwind or the left to right crosswind.
You talked about when you were doing approach shots, you're typically just trying to get it in the circle for an easy putt. When are the times that you're actually going for it?
Yeah, I think the only time I'm considering throwing it in from, where it's not a putt is when you're down one with one to play and you need to throw it in to tie it up. So for the most part, I'm just landing as close as I can to the basket, trying to get within the circle and hoping to make the putt.
What is an ideal approach shot? How are you gonna throw?
If I could pick an approach shot to throw, it would definitely be just like a soft hyzer, because it's just natural. The disc wants to hyzer anyway, so just kind of put it out there, drop it close to the basket.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at one of those trees, a certain branch? Where are you looking at exactly?
I'm aiming probably about, depending on the stability of the disc, 20 feet to the right of the basket. Aiming for a specific tree, kind of back behind the basket, and letting the disc do the work and come back towards the pin. The biggest thing that's helped me in my game would be, don't try to throw it in. The best way to save strokes is by landing close to the basket and just making that putt. It's gonna boost your confidence, it's gonna lower your score, and it's just gonna make you a better golfer overall.
All right, you heard it from the man himself. Don't always try to throw it in, just get it close. You're gonna make it. And you know what? We are this close to 5,000 subscribers. So you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn it from red to gray, and we'll see you in the next one.